Hey guys, welcome back. We're just heading into a game. We're going to equip the car loadout that you would have seen in my previous Road to Regen series. This is a loadout that we'll be using from Gen 3 all the way up to Gen 5, and we'll get there as soon as possible. We've got the lovely lime camo on the gun at the moment. You unlock that at Gen 3, and today we're going to be talking about the future of Titanfall 2. Let me know in the comments below whether you think Titanfall 2 has a future, and what that future may be, whether it's going to be increased popularity on the servers due to the high ratings the games receive, or whether you think that it's going to have a player base that slowly diminishes over time, and then the game will be empty say June or July next year. Let me know guys, I'll be reading all your comments and seeing what you guys think. So kicking off, the latest blog post that we have from Respawn, they've mentioned it's been a busy, eventful couple of weeks for Respawn and Titanfall 2, and they recapped on the free Angel City DLC that they released, and they said there's a store where you can buy cosmetic items, and it was a pretty big patch with lots of updates. I definitely agree. I think in terms of patches, I thought it would just be a few fixes for the overpowered items, a couple of buffs for the weaker items, just a few tweaks here and there. But they actually released a boatload of content, guys. It was really good, and we were quite lucky to get all of that in the first patch so soon after release. I mean, they're doing us proud here, guys. And they hosted a free trial weekend. I'm not too sure how that went, because obviously I bought the game, so I didn't really try out the trial. I did notice server lag, so that was a negative impact on my own gameplay. But that would just be due to the sheer amount of people downloading the game, trying it out, seeing whether they like it or not, and then either deleting it or purchasing it at a later date, things like that. I noticed for the release that they released it really close to Battlefield 1. This is something that we're all aware of, and a lot of the player base, a lot of the players nowadays, they're quite young, and I mean if you save up for Battlefield 1, which has limited editions and things like that, you could be spending up to $100 or $150 on a game, and the last thing you want to do after purchasing that is within the same week spend another $60 to $80, depending what edition you get for Titanfall 2, on a second game, because that's going to be easily over a $200 week for you. And leading up to Christmas, you know, you choose one game and that's your summer game. That's just how it goes. For most people it's Call of Duty, Battlefield, things like that. It's quite a shame really, because you are missing out on a great game, and that great game is Titanfall 2. But with Christmas coming up, hopefully they've asked their parents for this game and things like that. Hopefully they get a bit of free Christmas money, and then they can go out, get Titanfall 2, join us on the frontier and have a lot of fun, because this game is just crazy. Look at that power shot, guys. Oh my god, double power shot. I couldn't just let that happen without talking about it. This loadout is absolutely crazy, but we'll focus on the future of Titanfall 2. So for PC, this is a platform that I play on personally. They said that the numbers about a month ago were 11,000 players. In terms of PC games, that's quite a low number, and a lot of people let hearing that number affect them straight away. They go, oh, there's only 11,000 players, I'm not going to buy the game because it's dead. But 11,000 is still a lot of players, guys. Although what they did next is, you go on and compare it to other games on PC, and you have a look and go, okay, Dota 2's got almost 1 million players coming on every day. Counter-Strike Global Offensive has just over 500,000, Grand Theft Auto 5 has 130,000, and Team Fortress 2 has 71,000 players. And I'm pretty sure Counter-Strike Source will be up there. They usually have about 20 to 30,000 players. So when you hear a brand new AAA title only has 11,000, it can be quite worrying, and that's actually putting off a lot of people. But if you look at Battlefield 1, it's got a real hefty amount of players, and I bet that, a third, if not half of those players are probably sitting there going, this game's awesome, game of the year, best shooter, but, oh, I wonder about Titanfall 2. Oh, it's only 11,000 players, oh, I might buy it later. But the thing is, 11,000 is still quite a lot. When I play the game, every time of the day, except first thing in the morning, between, say, 6 AM to 8 AM, there's a game going. If it's 6 AM to 8 AM, I can go into the Oregon server in US, and there's always players on there playing a variety of game modes. Alternatively, there's the Singapore server, which I can go on 6 AM to 8 AM my time, and always find a game there. And there's always players there, guys, even though in their time zone, they're 4 hours behind or 2 hours behind. In their time zone, it's probably 3 or 4 AM, and they still have 90 to 100 players on. I can jump in, get a game straight away, and there's no dramas at all. And I sort of sit there and go, man, why are these guys up at 4 AM? You know, they're next level dedicated to this game if they're up at 4 AM playing. But it could be other people from around the world tuning in on their server saying, oh yeah, there's, you know, a couple of players here, I'll join in, which is all awesome. And, you know, there's always a game. I've never really sat there struggling to find a game. Although if you do play different game modes, things like, you know, Bounty Hunter, if you don't prefer attrition, pilot versus pilot, things like that, it can be a bit hard to find players unless you're on at peak time. But when you're on at peak time, 9 times out of 10 there's a game going, and if not, you can invite your network, which has a lot of players, and they can all jump in and play the game. So I think really the future of this game, I mean the reviews are out there, the ratings are out there, they're all positive. It's just going to be up to us to tell our friends that this is an awesome game, get them involved, spread the word on YouTube. They can see this awesome gameplay here, they can see the positive vibes that Titanfall 2 has, and the community is quite different, you know, it's no slander, there's no sort of swearing or complaints within PC at least, and it's nice and relaxed. Whereas when I play Battlefield 1 or Call of Duty or Town of Salem, you know, it's really bad, everyone's just swearing at each other and there's no sort of teamwork going on. Whereas in Titanfall 2, it's definitely a lot better. And you can see this game here, the chat's quiet, you know, no one's yelling at us over voice. It's real peaceful, and that also makes for a good game, because you can sit there and concentrate, get your kills that you need, punch grunts out of the air, find pilots that are jumping around you making you dizzy, and there he is, guys, power shot, you know where it is. Is it a second power shot? No! But anyway, guys, so I think for the future it's looking great. We do need a few more patches, because when people complain and say, hey, tone's overpowered, you know, they did fix that up, they do listen to you guys, and a few more weapons need to be sort of improved so that they're seen on the frontier, because I can say that there's a few weapons I've never used and I never will use, and also for certain titans it would be nice to have that as balanced as possible. But I think what a lot of players also need to understand is that they all have their different sort of merits, they all have their different strengths, they all have their different weaknesses. So if you go out and your team has 5 legions, you need to change your titan, because, you know, you can't just have 5 legions. It might work one game and you might get destroyed the next, and that's why when you go into the pause menu, there's a select and an edit option. So if you enter the game, your whole team's sniping and they all have legions, then you can change it up. You can say be a Ronin, you can strafe around all the time, you can cut up the enemy legions, or, you know, you can adapt your gameplay to suit what the enemies pick, and then obviously try and counter them, try and better the titans they have, try and match their weapons. If they're sniping and you're a good sniper, then pull out your sniper and pick them off. If they're sniping and you're not a good sniper, maybe you need a fast map scaling sort of loadout with stim, so you can run around to the other side of the map in about 10 seconds, get up behind the snipers, guys, and just smoke them, because, you know, you've got to be thinking about these things, and it's not really nerf this, nerf that, buff this, buff that. It's more so seeing what's happening in the frontier and then matching your loadout and your titan to suit. But anyway, guys, with Christmas coming up, with these new updates, double XP on the way, I'm sure there's going to be a few more free weekends along the way as well. I would actually expect the numbers to increase. I've looked at the games coming out, there's not really too much on at the moment. Titanfall 2 is really good once you start playing, keeps you in there, heaps of unlocks, easy to level up, doesn't take too long for a regen, so hopefully the numbers that we see now will increase over Christmas, everyone getting it in their nice little Christmas stocking, or using the money they've received from relatives to buy it, and that's just going to be awesome. It's going to make the game better for all of us. 178 on the scoreboard, guys. Anyway, we'll just watch everyone now because we're dead. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think of the future of Titanfall 2. We're going to be doing another video on this topic after Christmas, and we'll just see what happens, see if we can see some live numbers. Personally, all I've noticed is an increase in players from release date, and hopefully you guys have noticed that too. Enemy team wipe, guys. We'll just ride this one on out, see the scoreboard, see what unlocks we have. There we go, first place, that's where we want to be. 24 kills, 4 Titan kills, 25 minion kills. Crazy. They didn't even crack 100 on the other team. Anyway, 3.22, ticked off, 3.4 on the car, MGL leveled up, Stoic Gold, oh jeez. Legion just went crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. There we go, get the double XP in there, already halfway to the next level. Thanks for tuning in, guys, catch you in the next one, peace.